At this time, we will have opening comments from Mr. Anderson, talk about this week's opponent, Texas State.
Well, looking at them on film, you know, they got a few good linebackers, good size at DB. But I feel if we come out fast and strong and stay on top, we can hold the ball, keep the clock, and come out with a W.
All right. Now we have opening comments from Mr. Jenkins.
I feel like if we're aggressive enough on the defense side of the ball, they won't be able to score more than 14 points on us, which will give our offense the goal to win the game.
All right. At this time, we'll hear from the top dog himself, head coach Monty Coleman. Give us opening comments about this week's opponent, Texas State.
Well, I want to first of all thank everybody for coming to our first press conference. It's good to see all of our fans out with us. This week is going to be a challenging week for us. I feel very good about the opponent, Texas State. We've had a great training camp. These two young men sitting to my right and to my left has led this team through training camp. It's been a hard training camp. We've had some very severe weather, either being rain or heat, but I feel very good about this team. They've done everything that we needed to do to go down and win against Texas State. It will be a tough opponent. They're very multitasked on offense, have a lot of multiple formations on offense, and their defensive coordinator, which is new for him this year, comes from Arkansas State, Mr. John Thompson. We know that he likes blitzing. So it's going to be a major challenge for us, but I think we're up to par to go down and play a very good football game and come out of there with a win. It's going to take us playing smart. It's going to take us taking care of the football and also taking the ball away from them. But I think we're evenly matched with them. They've got some new positions, new people in new positions. So right now I feel good about going down playing against Texas State. And I think we are poised after today's practice to go down and do something very impressive for our team.
At this time, we open up for Q&A. We ask that you raise your hand and be recognized. Mr. Morrell?
Yes, sir. For Ben and Antonio, I saw the stat comparisons in the stat book that Money sent me today, and you guys had bigger numbers on offense than Texas State. Of course, Texas State plays different opponents than you guys. What really gives you guys confidence that if you're able to do what you do, continue to control the clock and everything, that you'll have a shot against Texas State?
Comfort in our system, knowing the offense, having perfect practices, and then watching a lot of film on Texas State. Not only Texas State, but watching back Arkansas State because of the new defensive coordinator. We're aware that he came from Arkansas State, so catching up on his tendencies. We know they're going to blitz. I look forward to the blitz because if he blitzed, that means he left a spot open. So, we've been practicing for it, running plays, checks. So, just continuing practicing and practicing situations. That's what's making us comfortable.
Gotcha. Antonio, what about you?
Watching film, studying and having discipline, making less mistakes as possible. I think it's one of the biggest keys to winning the game for us. Just staying physical and not giving up. I think we can come on top.
Sounds good. Hey, I can ask one more question.
Yes, sir.
Coach, I looked at the depth chart and two things that kind of stood out in my head. You went with Marcus Terrell as the number 2 quarterback. What led you guys to go with him as the number 2 right now?
Well, I see, this is very competitive. And we don't choose who's number 1 and who's number 2.
Yeah.
The players choose that. And Marcus Terrell, through spring ball and also through training camp, has kind of set himself apart to be Ben's backup.
Yeah.
So right now, that's our second-team quarterback is Marcus Terrell, based on his performance.
Yeah. And I didn't see Troy Goss anywhere on the 2-deep roster. Can you clarify his status right now?
Right now, Troy Goss is no longer part of our football team. He's got some issues with his summer school classes. So as of right now, we're not listing him as one of our players.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Coach, being a novice to the intricacies of the game. I understand that Texas State is in a division above us.
Yes.
And when I understand they competed with us at one time on the same level. How long have they been a part of the subdivision?
They're all part of the bowl subdivision. I don't know when they actually moved into this bowl subdivision, but they're in the same conference as Arkansas State. So they do play Arkansas State every year. They are a step above us. We feel like we're very comparable as far as our players. Just looking at them on film and just from hearsay, I don't think they are quite as talented as Arkansas State. So I think because of that, maybe they should be a 1AA division, but because they are, we will give them the respect that they need. And I think we're matched up with them from a personnel standpoint. We match up a lot better than we do against Arkansas State.
So if we win this game, we off to a grand start.
Absolutely.
For the undefeated season.
Well, Bubba, you know you're one of our biggest fans, and we touch and agree on that. Yes, sir, as we travel to our undefeated season. I feel good about our team. These young men both mentioned our practice ethic. Without practice, we don't play well. And the thing that we've done so far in training camp, we've had good practices. And if we can continue to do that this week as we prepare for Texas State, I feel very good as we go into San Marcos.
Yes, Mr. Stubbs?
Tim Stubbs, UAPB Television. This is for any one of you three gentlemen, and probably mainly you, Coach.
Yes,
but the mindset, the team morale going into this season compared to last season, there was some uncertainty last season going into that first game against Arkansas State. Can you just talk about the spring, and then now that everybody started back in August, kind of where the team is right now, their mindset, maybe compared to where you were last year going into the season, and just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'll speak on behalf of the coaches. Our mindset is the same going into the season. Unfortunately, we did have some setbacks with some of the players last year. Our thing is we're going to compete. We're going to practice hard. We're going to compete every week. And our mindset this week is the exact same, or this season is the exact same. We're going to do everything that we need to do on and off the field. Now, we'll have to say that with compliance and myself, we've been meeting 2 times a week, sometimes 3 times a week, to make sure that we don't have any the guys that we need to play not eligible. This didn't just start this week. It's actually started back in the spring, so we're well ahead of ourselves. We put some other vehicles in place that's making sure that the guys are matriculating to make sure that we don't have the mishaps like we had last year. So we're well ahead of the game this year than we were last year. But the mindset is, hey, we're going out to do 1 or 2 things. We're going to win the SWAC, and we want to be deemed the HBCU national champs. So those are our goals, like it has been for all the other years.
I'm sure numbers-wise, you probably feel better going into the first game this season, whereas you were handicapped right off the bat.
You know, as you know, Tim, we lost 9 starters last year for certain reasons. Right now, we're fully equipped. You know, we've got Ben, who's healthy. We've got Antonio, who's healthy. He's got a little banged up toe, but he's healthy, ready to go. We've got a great supporting cast behind these guys. I look at these guys as leaders, him on the defense and Ben on the offense. So we've got a great supporting cast. One of the shortcomings that we had last year was the offensive line and defensive line. Right now in training camp, we've got 14 offensive linemen in camp, and we also have about 14 defensive linemen in camp. So we're well ahead of ourselves from last season.
After looking at film, describe Dennis Frenchie on the offense.
Multiple formations. I start to do my tendencies like I do. We can do it via computer, but my way is doing it, I want to study as I write. Yeah. So I started breaking down 3 games, and I had 5 pages, and it was just 1 formation, 1 formation, 3 formation, or this formation he ran 3 plays out of it. He's got multiple, so I really can't get a tendency on him like we do with some of the other schools. So I just told the coaches, you know what, we may have to shoot from the hip a little. We have to game plan them on the fly when we get there. But from his games last season, the last 3 games, he has multiple formations. Running the same play, but he gives you a different tweak with those formations.
Okay. And just to clarify the thing with Troy Goss, is there a chance he'll be back on the football team this year?
There is a chance, yes.
Yes, sir.
Coach, you were asked to compare this team to last year's team. I'm going to ask you to compare this team to a championship team in 2012.
The championship team in 2012 was a very special team. We had everybody in place. From a talent-wise, across the board, every position, I think this team is better. I really do. I think we have more talent. I know one thing that we were conscious of and we were able to go out and get, we've got more speed on this particular football team. So as good as we were in 2012 with the parity in the SWAC, as good as I think we are right now, you know, I can't predict, you know, Dionne Warwick, she's not my cousin for real. I can't really call her and see, you know, Psychic Network and see if we're going to win. But I feel like with these guys right here leading us, and the thing that we got to understand, Bubba, the biggest component in all athletics, being baseball, being football, being basketball, women's basketball, it really doesn't matter. The biggest component is staying healthy. And if we can stay healthy this season, I think we'll be able to compete with every team that we play.
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
At the left tackle, you had Armstead for years. Mikael Carter has replaced him. How do you feel about him at that position?
I feel just as good. He's not as talented. Excuse me. He's not as athletic as Armstead, but there's not a offensive lineman in the country, I don't think, is as athletic as Armstead. He's kind of a freak of nature, a kid that stands 6'5", well over 300 pounds, can run a 4.6, and do all the things that he can do. It's hard to compare him to anybody. Carter is a very good tackle. He's played behind Armstead. He's played the right side. He's played the guard positions. He's very multi-talented as far as the offensive line. The only position we hadn't played him at has been center. So he knows the scheme. He's getting a lot of looks from the pro scouts. We've had, 7, 8 pro scouts that's come in looking at him along with Mr. Anderson this year. And so I feel confident that Carter can get the job done.
How big is he?
Carter is about 6'5", and he's about 315, maybe 320.
Same dimensions.
Same dimensions. Same dimension. Can run. He can run, and he's athletic, but he's not as athletic as Armstead. But like I said, there's not a college player in the nation that is as athletic as Armstead, and I think he proved that when he went down to the combine.
Yes, sir.
Pastor Jimmy Fisher. Coach Coleman, field position plays an important part in football. How will we see it?
I think we're going to be very good this year. You know, it's unfortunate for us. Last week I had my special teams coach, Coach Phil Cole. He walked into my office and he desired to resign. And then that put Coach Ray and myself, Coach Ray is the assistant to head coach, we start searching for a new special teams coach. Through contacts, through resources, he brought to mind a young man that's coached in the SWAC, he's coached in the SEC. He's very talented. He's a very good football coach. His name is John Hendricks. He coached at Alabama State in 2012 when we played him, and we brought him on board this Sunday. And I think it's going to be a plus to have him. As far as our return men, we've got a young man by the name of Andre Mitchell, who's played for us the last 2 years. He's a great return man, very sure hands, catching punts and kickoffs. But we've added speed with other guys. Patrick Rowland, who's a freshman. what's King's first name? Mavante King. Both of these guys have exceptional speed, and we'll be seeing as we progress through the year, finding ways to get those guys in to catch punts and kickoffs for us. But right now, Andre Mitchell is our man because of his sure handness. Now, the thing with Andre, he's going to be one of our starting corners, so we got to quickly transition one of these other guys in as soon as we can.
Just time for one more question.
Are you guys gonna use gold helmets this year, by any chance?
Well, I see we put these up here. We're looking for donations, and we want you to start our drive out by donating $2,000 so we can get gold. No, actually, this is just a prop helmet. No, sir, we will be still wearing our black helmets.
I just thought I might ask.
That's all right. But if you want to give us two, we'll take the money anyway.
I'm gonna have to ask my mom.
Weird. All right. I want to thank you all for coming out. Let's give Mr. Tony Down a little steakhouse applause for allowing us this afternoon. Coaching the players are available for one-on-ones, and once again, thank you for coming out.